consider Eastern State America's most historic prison. It was opened in 1829, so we see copies of Eastern State all over the globe, making this arguably history's most influential prison. I'd say when I first started here that most people were here for the dark tourism side of things, to hear about escapes and Al Capone and silver era gangsters, things like that. But I've really seen it change in our visitors, especially in the last 5 years. I'd say there's a lot of people coming here to learn about criminal justice reform, social justice, to hold discussions and dialogues about really the shortcomings of our criminal justice system. So we're really trying, again, to connect the past with the present here and learn something from the legacy of America's most historic prison. I would define dark tourism as a site or institution whose history or content or subject matter has to do with something morbid. Pain, suffering, trauma, death, dying, these kinds of things. Eastern State's often known as the world's first true penitentiary, and what that means is a building designed to inspire regret. And a big part of how the prison officials did that was, again, through architecture. The outside of the building resembles a Gothic castle. It's scary, it's intimidating, and it's what we would call a deterrent. But on the inside, visitors to Eastern State are often surprised to see that the cell blocks resemble a cathedral or a church. And the idea was that if a prison looked like a cathedral or a church, people would be more likely to think about what they had done wrong, to reflect, and to seek penitence or true remorse. And that becomes the root of the word penitentiary. People are really fascinated in penitentiaries. Alcatraz is one of the most visited national parks in the National Park Service. I think that's partially because despite the size of the American prison system, the scope of mass incarceration, most Americans will never go inside of a prison, active or historic. We really go out of our way to engage our visitors in a dialogue and ask them to examine their relationship to the criminal justice system and really just spark a conversation that we hope continues after the museum exhibit visit is done. We have an annual haunted house fundraiser that goes through the prison called Terror Behind the Walls, and it's one of the biggest haunted houses in the United States, one of the highest rated haunted houses in the country, and it pays our bills, really. So we use it to stabilize this National Historic Landmark, to fund daytime public programming.
About 66% of the operating budget for the historic site comes from Terror Behind the Walls, the event. So it's amazing that what we do kind of contributes to maintaining this beautiful space, historic space.
So we have about an hour from our daytime to nighttime. We have a giant tech team that we turn off historic lights, flip the switch on for the haunted house lights, have the fog machines going, music going. It's a quick process. We have 300 staff every night, so we have them come in about 15-minute intervals to get into costume and makeup. Our makeup team is 26. We have 26 makeup artists per night that transform about close to 300 actors in about 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
We do our best to keep Terror Behind the Walls from impacting the daytime museum experience as much as possible, so a lot of it does take place in parts of the building that daytime visitors don't see, but sometimes that's not possible. At points it does cross over through like the Central Rotunda and some of the cell blocks on the eastern half of the building. I think a lot of people come here because of its reputation as a site of paranormal activity. You know, that's awesome, and we encourage people to come for whatever their interests are. I would say that just our mission is really about hosting a dialogue about these critical issues concerning our criminal justice system. There's more to do there. There's more work to do there.